Hi and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the Pentel brush pen. So I got this for about 1000 rupees INR on this website. I'll leave a link in description. I have used this a couple of years ago and I didn't use it very well. I even tried to cut off the bristles of that. I don't know why I did that, but it was a crazy thing that I did. So I had to throw it away and I got another one. I'm quite excited to try this out. So let's unbox this and see what's inside. So this brush pen is basically made in Japan. I can't read any of this. So this is how it is. Basically it has the brush tip, and then you have your cartridges, and then you have the barrel, which is the holder for the bottom part of the pen is called that. So I'm going to be unboxing and we'll just test it out and see how it is. So the pen is very beautiful in its make. So it is got a black body and it says over here Pentel GFKP and Japan. And this is how the brush tip is. Currently it is white because there's no color inside. So when you open the barrel, it's empty. So you basically use these cartridges. So you just have to push it through this. So we're going to try do that. And it will break through. I hope I'm not making a mistake. Oh, sorry, this is this side. Okay, so to not do the same mistake as me, you can see the direction is given over here. It's over here also. So it tells you the direction in which you should push it in. So this is the direction. And you'll hear that click, which I just heard right now. And I'm just trying to push it in as much as possible. And yes, so it was the second click. Basically it was the second click which meant that my cartridge is held perfectly over here. And the brush tip will not change color, so you will not be able to try this out on a paper yet. Let me get a sketchbook and I will show you what I mean by that. I have my sketchbook over here, but if I try using the pen, there's absolutely nothing that comes out of it. That's because the ink from the cartridge has not flown through and come to the tip. So what you're supposed to do basically is let the pen hanging this way with its cap on. So you basically let it in this way for a while. So the easiest way to do is if you have a container, like a glass, or if you have your pen stand, then just leave it this way for about 10-15 minutes so that the cartridge ink can flow down and it can come to the tip, so it'll be much easier for you to use it. So I'm going to leave this aside now inside my pen stand or a brush stand for about 20 minutes, and then I'll meet you guys after that. I wanted to show you what happens midway. So this has just been a couple of minutes and you can already see that the ink is changing, or basically the ink is flowing through, so you can see that the bristle color is changing. Let me focus on it to show you. Yeah, so you can see it's changing. So I'm going to leave it aside for another few minutes. So even if you do leave it horizontally, that's also fine. If you want the ink flow to happen a little faster, then you can leave it vertically. So it's about just been 5 to 7 minutes, and with that itself you can see that my bristles have become pretty black. So we are now going to test this out and see how it writes. This is a sketchbook that is about 180 GSM, so I'm going to try and see how the lines are with this brush pen. So the ink is still not completely through, but as I'm writing I can see that it's getting filled up. So this is very normal for your pen to face. So if you have got any pen with a cartridge and that has a similar style of use, then please know that this is a very normal thing to happen. Every time you put up a new cartridge, this could be there, especially if it's a brand new pen. You will face this issue. I won't call it as an issue, but this is basically something that is going to happen because there is no ink which is inside the bristles, which is why this tends to happen. So you can see from here to here there's so much difference because now the ink flow is much better. So this is a brush tip pen which you can use for either doing your calligraphy, or you can do really fine sketches, and this is very nice. Why? Because it helps in free flow, so your mind flows very freely, and you don't have to put like a lot of pressure and thinking into this, and it's really fun. And what I like about it is brush pens will give you like thin and thick lines, so that helps to give you a very good character to your art. So if I have to create, let's say, clouds, so I can create like thick and thin lines this way. So let's say I'm creating like a home, and if I'm outdoors and I'm just wanting to sketch something, then I can create thin lines, thick lines, and it helps me to create such a beautiful character to my illustration. So let's say I want to fill in this tree at the back. So there's so much I can do with it. So I really like this pen for that. So in the beginning of the video, I told you that earlier I had tried to cut these off. So I was not very comfortable using a very long brush tip. So I wanted to basically cut it off and try and see if I can make it thinner and use it in that way, and I failed miserably for that. So if you are somebody like me, don't try to do that. I think this pen is good in itself, and you don't really need to go through that. So my ink flow has not yet gone in completely because I just kept it about 5 minutes. So I'm going to leave it for some more time right now while the flow happens vertically. I'm going to test out this ink and see whether it is waterproof or if it's not. So I'm just going to get some water and a brush, and let's try and see if the ink is waterproof. Oh, this is pretty good. I think it is waterproof. Let's try in these thicker areas. It's not completely 100%. So you can see it is coming off, but it's so little, like very little. Basically, there's no bleed that's happening over here, which means that your illustration is not going to get damaged in any way. So I think that way this is a brilliant pen. I'm not sure if cartridges are available for this separately, so I will definitely check that out and see. And so far I think this pen is brilliant. So what I'm going to do right now is, while that ink is getting seeped in through the top from the cartridge to the brush tip, I'm going to make some small illustration first with pencil, and then I'm going to ink it with that pen to see how it works. Got my sketchbook over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a very cute little elephant, and then we'll ink it with the brush pen. I'll add maybe a flower for the elephant. It can have a nice cute little smile. Its tail, and maybe we'll give it clothes. So I'm going to try and give an outline of this with the pen. The ink flow is quite good right now. So you don't have to put a lot of pressure. In fact, don't put a lot of pressure, otherwise it will be pretty thick, unless of course you want it like that. The pen is so lightweight. I really like that. So I'm able to create all the details very easily with it. So I like thick and thin lines because it makes my illustration feel very organic. And that's a very important part, I think, when you're somebody who likes to create illustrations, or even if you're doing like a regular drawing and it's not really for any purpose of printing or for any other purpose in that way. It looks very nice when your lines feel very organic. By organic lines, I mean, like, you know, sometimes you have thin and thick lines, some of the lines are staggered lines, so it adds some character. It adds like a story to this whole thing. So I like that it's thin over here, and then it becomes a little thick, and then it becomes thin again. So it was very free flow. I didn't have to like work too much about it. It just came in very naturally because of this brush tip. But you can manipulate the brush tip according to the kind of lines that you want. So here I'm just filling this in. So So it looks like a very cute dress that this elephant is wearing. And this is lovely. I really like this. And I'm very happy about getting this Pentel brush pen. I think I'm going to be using this for doing a lot of my sketching, whether it's outdoors or at the studio. The ink is also pretty dark, like it's jet black. So if I have to compare it to any other pen, I have this Uniball Air Micro over here. This is the go-to pen that I have for my doodling. So if I have to compare the lines with that, you can see there's a little bit of difference. This is more like a painting kind of a black, and this is more a little slightly different black. So I'll just create a line next to it and show you. So these are the ones with the Pentel brush. So there's very little difference. If I bring it closer, you can see. So the quality of these two differ very, very, very minute. So like you can see, this is thin throughout. This is also thick and thin. So that's one difference, of course, in the line quality, and then in the color. So over here, you'll always end up with like a little bit of dark and light, thick line somewhere or the other. But because it's a brush tip, you have a little more control over it. So I think for illustrations, this is very good. So stay tuned for watching a lot of my illustrations in the next few months with the Pentel brush pen. And I hope this video of today was useful for you to decide whether these pens are meant for you or they aren't. And if you're new here, do consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell icon so you can get updates for all the new videos that I put up. And I will see you guys soon for the next video. Bye bye.